across the endless prairies of North America, from the frost-shrouded Canadian border to the parched lands of Texas and Mexico, there is a silent but never disappearing figure: the coyote. Smaller than the gray wolf, more slender, but hidden within it lies a cold intelligence and survival instinct that makes any attempt to control it hopeless. This animal does not simply survive the pressures of humans. It grows, spreads, and adapts with frightening speed. In 2025, North America is witnessing a new record. 5 to 7 million coyotes roam the continent, more than at any time in the past century. Colorado alone, the land of wind and golden grass, there are more than 80,000 individuals, making farmers always live with the feeling of an invisible eye following their livestock. The scariest thing is their ability to adapt. Coyotes go everywhere. 45 degrees Celsius hot deserts, frozen pine forests, crowded suburbs, even in residential backyards. As long as there is food, no matter how small, they will appear. Mice, rabbits, chickens, ducks, garbage. Anything is enough to draw them closer to humans, and then they continue to expand their territory. How much smarter do you think coyotes are? Share your thoughts below and hit the subscribe button to follow the next part. Coyotes carry a primitive streak. Their ancestors appeared more than 1 million years ago, when the ancient prairies stretched endlessly, when the American lion and the dire wolf still ruled. Coyotes were small but agile creatures. They lived by instinct, and by the pure wisdom of nature. When the Ice Age retreated, many mighty species disappeared, but coyotes remained. They weave through the darkness of the past, making their way through life with speed and stealth. Originally, they lived in the ancient plains. But humans opened up land. Forests were cut down. Large predators were driven to extinction, and coyotes seized that opportunity to expand their footprint. Their reproductive rate is another problem that gives the government a headache. A female can give birth to 4 to 7 cubs per litter. But what is more frightening is their primitive instinct. The more they are hunted, the more they give birth. Even though hundreds of thousands are destroyed every year, the coyote herd still increases, silently and persistently, like a wild flow that cannot be stopped. Coyotes cause a huge damage to North American agriculture. Each year, the US records more than 300,000 livestock attacks. Coyotes account for 65% of all damage. They move in the dark, silent but precise. A pack can take down 5 to 10 sheep in just a few hours. In the suburbs of Denver, Fort Collins, and even near Los Angeles, the threat has crept into everyday life. Coyotes have also become a threat to pets and children. This recklessness puts residents in immediate fear, especially in late winter when coyotes are hungry, aggressive, and most active. Faced with this situation, farmers and authorities are forced to intervene. Every year, the government issues tens of thousands of coyote hunting licenses, and in many states like Colorado or Texas,
give them just a little bit of rabbit, and nothing shows.
Do you think the government issuing tens of thousands of coyote hunting licenses every year really helps improve the situation? Share your views below, and remember to subscribe to the channel to watch the dramatic coyote hunting right after. Hunting season usually falls between November and March, when coyotes are most active and their tracks are easily recognizable. On the Colorado grasslands stretching to the horizon, the hunter stands still. His hand holds the AR-15 with a thermal scope attached. In the distance, slender shadows glide across the ground. They move slowly, then accelerate in the last few seconds.
Yep.
A clean shot rang out, and the coyote collapsed in the thin mist. The other two jumped up and ran. But the electronic decoy caller sounded again, the cry of a wounded rabbit. They paused, turned around. A second mistake. Two more shots tore through the morning mist. Everything returned to silence. The hunter stood up, shaking the mist from his shirt.
See if we can get a few more.
Yeah.
But the fight with the coyote was never over, and it was in those quiet corners of the prairie. The chase took on a different form, silent but brutally effective. The morning in the Wyoming prairie was misty, and cold enough to numb the tips of his fingers. The hunter crouched at the base of a sagebrush bush. His gloves were caked with damp earth. He carefully placed the steel foot trap in the small hole he had dug. Not a sound, not a trace. When he left, the prairie returned to its original silence.
Right at the top of the ground. Fear of throwing the trap. Back over it.
The next morning, as the sun rose over the hills,
guys.
the hunter returned to the
Guys,
area
this is
where
a
he had
pretty
set the
fresh
trap
coyote
yesterday.
here to me. Guys, this is awesome. Check him out.
In the middle of the flat ground where the trap was hidden, a coyote lay on its side, breathing heavily and tiredly. Its front leg was held tight in a steel grip.
We got a few more sets to check up the way.
Its yellow eyes looked at him,
Really big one.
no longer aggressive, no longer challenging. Only tiredness, pain, and a little bewilderment of a creature pushed to its limits.
He's growling.
The hunter stood still for a few seconds. Only the animal's weak panting could be heard, mixed with the sound of the morning wind. The peaceful morning of the Wyoming prairie seemed torn between silence and inevitable reality. Last night, the trap had done its job, and the coyote had not escaped.
Oh, the stinking go. Hey, I like guys like this. He's talking smack.
Although the efforts of farmers and hunters have helped to reduce the damage, the number of coyotes killed each year is about 300,000 to 400,000. Still not enough to push them back. They are too smart, too flexible, and too well adapted to be completely controlled. The war between humans and coyotes is far from over. All over North America, their footprints still appear every morning. Distant night howls still echo from the valleys, and the smartest predator on the prairie is still there. Quiet, persistent, and never defeated. The story doesn't end there. For when we leave the prairie, we enter the world of an ancient species that lived since the time of the dinosaurs. In the steamy swamps that stretch from Florida to Louisiana and Georgia,
Alligator at the...
there is a creature that has
Yes,
existed for millions of years as a remnant of the dinosaurs. The American alligator, ancient, cold and almost unchanged. Still lying silently beneath the dark water, watching the modern world pass by without a flicker. By 2025, the entire United States will record more than 2.3 million individuals. The highest concentrations are in Florida and Louisiana, home to more than 80% of the American alligator population. Land where people are accustomed to seeing floating eyes in the middle of ponds right behind their houses. In coastal swamps, densities can reach 35 to 40 individuals, ft squared, a number that makes the water's edge a dangerous boundary. They are everywhere: brackish rivers, natural lakes, moss-covered canals, or wetlands hidden deep in the forest. Some are even located just a few meters from people's backyards. What would you do if a 4.5 feet long monster was quietly lying in the middle of your backyard lawn, just waiting for the moment to emerge? Comment now and subscribe so you don't miss the next part. American crocodiles are ancient creatures. They have existed for more than 150 million years. Average length trawls are catheters, weigh up to 400 kilograms. Some giant individuals exceed half a ton. Slither silently under the water, Only the eyes and the bridge of the nose are exposed in the humid mist. They do not hunt in packs. They act alone, silent, patient, precise. A small movement or the slightest sound of water is enough to make them jump. Attack speed of more than 30 kilometers per hour in a few short seconds. In Louisiana, people say the surface of the water is always calmest right before it bursts with a bite.
You don't really want to watch.
Oh my god.
So they've finished one zebra and
In your opinion, what makes crocodiles have existed for more than 150 million years without ever becoming extinct? Comment your opinion to discuss.
That's guts.
Summer in the southern United States is not just about heat. It is also about breeding season for alligators. When the water rises and the mud softens, females begin digging nests at the edges of the swamp. They build nests out of dry grass, rotting leaves, and wet mud. Each female lays 30 to 50 eggs. The warm climate allows for a high hatching rate. Only a small fraction survive. The population continues to grow rapidly each year. This explosion puts enormous pressure on both the environment and people. Their routine is clear and brutal. They hide for hours. No chase, no noise. They choose the perfect moment. When their prey is off guard, then they leap, lock on, spin, and plunge into the water. The death roll, a deadly spin that tears the prey apart in seconds.
Oh no, got him.
But in the city, the victims are no longer deer or waterfowl. It's dogs, small livestock. Sometimes humans walking near the shore. More than 150 attacks are reported each year in Louisiana, Florida, and Texas. 5 to 10 people die. Damage is in the tens of millions of dollars. A chilling reminder, nature never really gives up.
Well,
after the Goliath von Rue storm in 2023, things get out of hand. Floodwaters surge from swamps, bringing hundreds of giant alligators into the city.
You going back? You going back? I'm going back too.
They crawled through parking lots. They crawled into sewers. They even emerged in the middle of golf courses. The city was gripped by fear. That was when Operation Hot Gun was born. A massive hunting and control campaign launched by the Louisiana government. Professional hunters were licensed and specially trained. It was just dawn on the Louisiana swamp. The air was humid and smelled of mud. The morning light reflected off the murky waves. The hunters were quietly rowing a small aluminum canoe. They glided through the thick reeds. They held loaded 308 Winchester rifles. They stopped at a wide stretch of water. The leader raised his binoculars and scanned the shore of the swamp. On a rocky outcrop in the reeds, a large shadow lay still, basking in the sun. The hunter raised his gun, leaned against the side of the boat. He breathed slowly.
And one more time.
The shot rang out sharply, resonated on the water. The animal thrashed violently, then sank in a white foam. No pride, no regret. Because here, each bullet was not to show strength, but to maintain the boundary between man and the world that nature had never wanted to share. In addition to hunting by boat in the swamp, many hunters also choose to ambush on land, especially during the day, when the crocodiles leave the water to bask. This way of hunting is more dangerous, but more effective and direct.
See his back, straight away from us. Yeah, he's eating now. It's a risky shot.
Yes, good shot.
He's dead.
No, but he was cruising.
The current was so take it. I just ran in there and grabbed him quick.
We've looked at crocs all week long.
He said it's the last day and nope.
Shoot his crocodile yesterday, very nice crocodile, and we are using